Alright, so in this video we're going to be talking some Nigerian women's football. We got a couple of topics to touch on in this one right here. First, we got the Flamingos of Nigeria, who returned to action for the first time since the Under-17 Women's World Cup. Then we got the CAF Awards. The shortlist for the CAF Awards on the women's side came out yesterday, and we're going to be talking about that in this one right here. But first, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, as you may or may not know, the Flamingos of Nigeria are set to participate in the first ever WAFU Zone B Under-17 Girls Tournament. The competition starts in a week on Thursday, the 12th of December, and it runs for 2 weeks exactly, ending on Thursday, the 26th of December. Now, almost a week ago, there was a draw conducted for the event, and 6 teams will be participating in this competition. Togo will not be participating. It's normally 7 teams. You normally have 4 teams in one group and 3 in the other, but this time we're going straight up 3 teams. Now, for me, I would have just made it one group like that and let every team play 5 games, but you also got to look at when you get to the semifinals and finals, those vibes are different. So you do want to have a semifinal and a final of your competition. So I can understand it being 2 groups though. But when you look at the groups, I think they're pretty even. You look at Group A, you got Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Benin Republic. Then in Group B, you got Nigeria, Niger Republic, and Ivory Coast. So I feel like these 2 groups are pretty balanced right here. Only 2 games played, so little room for error in this competition right here, but I do feel we have the quality to get the job done. And speaking of the quality, the Flamingos of Nigeria reported to camp on the 3rd, this Tuesday, the 3rd of December. And 25 players were called up to the team. They met up at the Remo Stars facility in Ikene. And when you look at the list, you got a number of players from that World Cup team, a number of our key players from that World Cup team. Of course, you got the Chidi Harmony and the Peace F Young duo still around. You got Shakira Moshud still around. But we have a big miss, y'all. A big miss at the midfielder position. Taiwa Falabi not in the team. Not too sure what that's about, but she is not in the team, and I can tell you for free, that's a huge miss for the Flamingos of Nigeria. It was a miss for the Falcons that she wasn't on that team. So when you talk about the Flamingos, definitely it's a big miss not having that player. But on the other hand, we do have some new players making their way into the team. We have a couple of Falcons players that were selected into this team right here. Janet Akekoromowi, the former Asisado Shwala Academy player, currently plays for Nasarawa Amazons in the NWFL. Big striker, makes her way into the team. Then you also have Marion Ba of Abia Angels. She was part of that Falcons team that went to the quarterfinals of the Under-20 World Cup, started in a couple of games in that competition for the Falcons. And speaking of competitions, we have a player that was part of the CAF Women's Champions League competition with Edo Queens, Mary Mamadou. She scored that big-time goal in the group stage against Mamelodi Sundowns, the goal that sent the team to the semifinal. And she gets the call up to add some firepower to this team. And I know last time I talked about Simone Riley making this team right here. Her name is definitely not on this list. But the more I think about it, I feel like it would be real tough for a club to allow her to come out for another camp with Nigeria, because she has gone to 2 different camps. She has a job now. You're a player for the club, so we can't just have you going to camps in Nigeria every time they have one. So I can definitely understand her club saying, nah, she's not coming to this camp right here. But that being said, I still have to come back to the biggest miss being Taiwa Falabi. It definitely gives somebody else the opportunity to step up. You're not just missing your best midfielder, you're missing your leader, the leader of the team. So you have 2 voids to fill right there. Hopefully somebody else steps up. It is an opportunity for somebody else to get their name out there. And hopefully it's used the right way. But moving on, and we're going to go to these CAF Awards. The short list for the CAF Awards came out yesterday, and we're going to go through each award real quick. First, start with the Player of the Year award, and we got only one Super Falcon player up for it, and that's Chiamaka Nnadozie, Paris FC goalkeeper, currently the reigning CAF Goalkeeper of the Year. And she's going up against Tabitha Chiwenga of Malawi and Leon Temwa Chiwenga of Malawi and Kansas City Current, Sana Masudi of Morocco and Asfa Club, and you got Barbara Banda of Zambia and Orlando Pride. Out of the five, I feel like Barbara Banda probably has the biggest chance. Just lifted a trophy at the end of her season with Orlando Pride, the NWSL trophy. And she also played with Tamara Chiwenga, who had a good season, but Barbara Banda was like one or two top player of her team that won that trophy. So that puts her in a really good position. Of course, with Chiamaka Nnadozie, had a good time out with Paris FC, finished third in the league and playoffs, took her team into the qualification stage of the Champions League. Didn't go so well, but they're still challenging for the league title this season, not too far away from the top. So she also has a shot, but I do think Barbara Banda kind of might take it all because she went to the Olympics also, defeated Morocco on her way to the Olympics. I believe she scored in those games against Morocco, so I think she stands a good chance of winning it. But there is a cloud over Barbara Banda not being allowed to play at any women's AFCON competitions. So it is kind of weird that she's getting shortlisted for a CAF award, but it is what it is. And moving on, you got the Coach of the Year award. We got a Nigerian up in here, Christopher Danjuma, the under-20 coach. Also Nasarawa Amazons coach. He took the under-20s, the Falcons, to the World Cup, to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. I kind of feel like Bankole Olowokere might have deserved it a little bit more than Chris Danjuma. Bankole actually won every single match of the group stage, then went out at the quarterfinals, while Chris Danjuma only won 2 matches, lost to Germany in the group stage. But he did get that nod. But going up against, you got Lamia Bomedia of TP Mazembe, Ahmed Ramadan of FC Maza, Mohamed Amin Aliaoua of Asfa Club, and you got Tina Sonke Mbuli of University of Western Cape. I feel like the award should go to Lamia Bomedia of TP Mazembe, of course, the team that won the CAF Women's Champions League. I feel like taking a team from not making it out of the group stage a couple of years ago, coming back to the competition and winning it, that's a big deal right there. And I feel like a decision making throughout the competition, just the way she carried herself throughout the competition, kind of sang Coach of the Year, and I feel like she deserves the award. Then moving on, we're going to go to Goalkeeper of the Year, the women's edition, and we got Chiamaka Nnadozie once again up for the award. And going up against her, you got Fedeline Ngoy of Democratic Republic of Congo, and she plays for TP Mazembe. You got Habiba Sabri of FC Massa of Egypt. You got Khadija Ermichi of Asfa Club of Morocco, and you got Andil Dlamini of Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. This award, I feel like, definitely should go to Chiamaka Nnadozie. She's the goalkeeper playing at the highest level, had a good season last term, and still doing her thing, waving the African flag in the European continent and in the world. So you definitely have to give her credit as the best goalkeeper in Africa right now. I don't think this is even close if we're keeping it real. But if you're going to say it's close, I think Fedeline Ngoy should be the closest. She just won the CAF Women's Champions League. You got to give her credit for that. And I don't think any other one. Maybe Habiba Sabri of FC Massa. I felt like she did good in the 2 games against the Edo Queens. She could be up. Then you got National Team of the Year, Women's, and Nigeria is up for this one also. So the Super Falcons are up for this award right here, the Senior Women's National Team. And for me, I would have picked the Flamingos. No disrespect to the Super Falcons, but you did crash out of the Olympics. Didn't really make any noise in that competition. and really didn't make too much noise in qualifying for the Olympics. Just kind of gimped through the qualification. While you look at the under 17 girls, the qualification was just whitewashed. They were destroying everybody. They go to the World Cup, do the same in the group stage. Yes, they get knocked out in the round of in the quarterfinals, but still a great competition. And I feel like that would have been a better representative for Nigeria than the Super Falcons. Again, no disrespect. And then you got Cameroon, the under 20s for Cameroon. They did pretty good at that competition. I really like them. Eto, can't forget Eto from that competition. You have Morocco, the Morocco women's national team, along with Nigeria's women's national team, the South African and Zambian women's national team. Those are the teams up for the award. I would take out Morocco. They ain't make it to the Olympics, so they shouldn't even be there. But I think if we're going to go with the team that brought the most excitement, I would have to go with Cameroon. I felt like they were really good in their short time at the Under-20 World Cup. They played some really good matches against some really good teams. The other teams, they made it to the Olympics, but that was just about it. Well, South Africa didn't make it to the Olympics, so they shouldn't be there either. So it should really be between Cameroon, Zambia, and Nigeria. But I would kind of give it to Cameroon because I didn't see anything special the other two teams did. Then you're going to move to the Young Player of the Year award. And Nigeria got another player up there, Chiamaka Nnadozie, Super Falcon player, Chiamaka Nnadozie. She played for the Falcons at the Under-20 World Cup. Scored a couple of goals in the competition, had a couple of matches that she was just box office in, unstoppable. I think it was the one against Venezuela. She just was oozing class in that game. Then going up against her, you got Habiba Sabri of FC Massa of Egypt. You got Doha El Madini of Asfa Club of Morocco. You got Lina Mokota Jama of Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, a player from Morocco. And you got you got Magia, my bad, I can't say that first name. Let me not mess it up. Of Mamelodi Sundowns. If I'm gonna give the award, I'll probably give it to Habiba Sabri of Egypt. I felt like she was awesome in the competition. You got to give her credit, helping her team finish third. I don't think they finished third without her. Especially you look at the two matches she played against Edo Queens. They had no right to beat us, to draw against us, but she was the main player. Every time we had a chance, she snuffed us out, and I feel like she definitely should be looked at for this award right here. Then you go to the Interclub Player of the Year award, and no Nigerian up for the award, so we're not going to talk about it. Now. I'm just playing. You got two players from TP Mazembe and one player from and three players from Asfa Club of Morocco. They ain't even spread this one out. Just the two teams that finished 1-2 in the competition. And you have Mabel Nanjudi of TP Mazembe and DR Congo. You have Doha Madini of Asfa Club. You have Lacho Flora Mata of TP Mazembe. You have Khadija Ermichi of Asfa Club. And you have Sana Masudi of Asfa Club. For this award, I think Flora Mata should get it. I felt like out of all these players, she was really the most noticeable at that competition from start to finish. She was running and running, causing issues. And I think this is a player that definitely should get that look for Interclub Player of the Year award. Of course, Mavel Nanjudi, the player that scored the goal that took Edo Queens into extra time. And of course, they did what they did, 3-1 in the semifinals of that match, then of that competition. Then we moved to the Club of the Year award. And basically, these are teams that participated, not basically, these are teams that participated at the CAF Women's Champions League competition. TP Mazembe won the competition. I think TP Mazembe, come on now. They won the competition. What are we doing here? FC Massa of Egypt, Asfa Club of Morocco. We have Edo Queens in here of Nigeria, of course. And we have Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. I'll give it to TP Mazembe. I don't think there's much to talk about. Like I said, it's a team that their only previous time, they didn't make it out of the group stage. Then they come to this competition and go all the way to winning the competition. So I don't know how else you're going to top that right there. But that's the last award we're going to be talking about. I really thought there was another award to talk about, but that's it right there. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your winners, all that. Put it in the comment section. Of course, Flamingos of Nigeria. Let me know your thoughts on that. Getting ready for the under 17 WAFU B girls competition. Put your thoughts down below. And please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.